What is going on, y'all? GamersGoon here today with your NFL video of Week 4. Last week, we only got 57 points. And by a quick look at things, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 16 games correct. Now, not a good week once again. We're not doing very hot right now. Maybe you shouldn't be watching me, but oh well. 26 and 22 on the season, 54% accuracy, not very good. But we do got 16 points this week on Dallas beating the Giants. Well, by the time you're watching this video, today, Cowboys. You got to start figuring some things out. 28 to, I believe, like 6 early on or 7. It was bad. It's bad. You're better than that, Cowboys. Get CD involved. He's on my fantasy team. I would appreciate it if he got more than 6.5 points on fantasy. I get some of that's because he fumbled. But get CD Lamb involved. And you'll win this game. The Giants, they do not have the talent to hang with you. Malik Neighbors, who at least we get to see him in prime time. We're going to get to see, because I haven't got to watch Malik Neighbors this season, but obviously high volume guy, 10+ targets a game. Seems to be really exciting. Looks good if you're looking at the numbers. It's going to be exciting to see somebody like Malik Neighbors get some action on prime time, see what kind of player he actually is. Now, Dallas, if you look at the offense of Dallas, they got good players all around, right? The running back position's kind of hit or miss, but you got a tight end that's really solid. You got CeeDee Lamb. Tolbert seems to be coming on. Dak's really good. Just got extended, I believe. Now, Cowboys, this is your coming out party right here because the Giants' defense, I think you can handle. I think that you can beat their secondary. I think this is a big CeeDee Lamb game. The Cowboys, I got 16 confidence points. I think this is going to be... I don't understand why they've been putting these games on prime time. They've had some of these games I just don't think are that great. Like, I would have much rather seen Sam Darnold versus Malik Willis, Minnesota versus Green Bay, than I would have Cowboys versus the Giants. I much rather see Eagles versus Buccaneers. I much rather see Commanders Cardinals, who obviously Commanders are coming off prime time on Monday, so they're not going to play them anyways. There's options, and instead they give us Cowboys Giants. Giants ain't a team I'm really particularly too impressed with. So 16-point favorites for the Cowboys. 90% of people agree with me. So Cowboys win the game. Saints, 54% of people agree with me here. I think the Saints will beat the Falcons. I only put 5 confidence points on it because the Falcons are a team that's starting to get a little tricky to predict. Because I think their offense is solid, but I don't necessarily think their team is great, right? Drake London has been really good. Kirk Cousins has been pretty solid. Kyle Pitts has been really involved. Bijan, we all know who he is. Algier in small spurts has been really solid for them. I think this is still a team trying to find its identity, though. I think this is a team that could come out and score 35 or a team that can come out and score 14. And until we know a little bit more about that Falcons team, I'm just going to have to ride with the Saints. Saints have been pretty impressive so far this season. Should have won last week, probably. They lost, but I'm going to ride with the Saints to win the game. Saints beat the Falcons. Rams-Bears. Bears looked really bad last week. Caleb Williams looked good, 300-something yards. Still 2 turnovers. The offensive line still as miserable without Nate Davis in it. The offensive line just looks really, really bad. It's really, really bad. The Rams, I believe they won their game, against the 49ers. You know pretty much what you got to do when it comes to the Rams. There's not very many people on that team right now that can beat you. There's no Cooper Kupp. There's no Puka Nacua. Stop Kyren Williams and you win the game. And I think the Bears are capable of stopping Kyren Williams. Now the question becomes, can the Bears stop the pass rush? I don't necessarily believe the Rams pass rush is all that great, but the Bears offensive line is miserable. They're miserable. So I got 3 confidence points on the Bears. Roma Dunze was really involved last week. DJ Moore was really involved. Cole Kmet was really involved. Hopefully Keenan Allen's back. But the Bears just... You can see the flashes of this offense working, but the offensive line is what's holding it back. It's just terrible offensive line play. Vikings versus the Packers. I got 4 points on the Packers. I know the Vikings are the undefeated team. I know the Vikings have been really solid. I know Sam Darnold's having a career year. I know all that, right? Malik Willis has been really impressive the last few weeks, and if it's not Malik Willis, it's Jordan Love, who has been really impressive the last couple of years with this Packers team. There's a lot of playmakers on that Packers side. Dontavian Wicks is receiver 4. You got Christian Watson there. You got Jaden Reed there. You got Romeo Doubs there. The receiver room, you got Musgrave, who is seemingly tight end 2 behind Tucker Kraft. Your running backs, Emmanuel Wilson has popped off the last few weeks. Josh Jacobs, obviously, has been really solid for you. Packers are a dangerous team. I got 4 confidence points. I don't really care who starts here. If it's Love, great. If it's Willis, great. I don't care. This is the Malik Willis right now that got drafted by the Titans. This is the Malik Willis that we thought he could be. Malik Willis looks really good. Malik Willis in the right situation. And this goes to show, and this is a little bit of a shot towards the Bears. This is a little bit of a shot towards the Titans. This is a little bit of a shot towards teams that just don't know how to develop QBs, the Giants, whatever. This goes to show that where you are matters. What system you're in matters. Malik Willis looked like a bust on the Titans. Malik Willis, quarterbacking the Packers, looks the part of a... I get he was the 3rd-round pick. He looks the part of a 1st-round pick, which he had the talent to be. Everybody's saying, oh, he's going to be the first QB, he's going to be in the 1st round, blah, blah, blah. He looks like it on the Packers. Where you are matters. What system you're in matters. Your weapons matter. Your offensive line matters. You can't just put a Band-Aid in the form of a QB over a bad situation and expect the QB to fix everything. The offensive line needs to be set already. You need to have playmakers in place. You need to have a coach that knows how to put your QB in successful situations. And that is what the Packers have done with Malik Willis the last few weeks, and I continue to believe that they will do that. If they're forced to play Malik Willis a few more games and they want to wait till they're bye to get Jordan Love or whatever, Malik Willis, the way they are coaching him and the way that they have schemed him into the offense has looked the part of a 1st-round pick, even though he was a 3rd-round pick. He looks the part of the guy that was getting all the hype. Malik Willis, it was never a Malik Willis problem. It was the coaching staff not knowing how to use him. It was the team not being built towards his strengths. You look at the Packers, I don't necessarily think they're built towards his strengths, but he looks pretty dang good in that offense, don't he? I think this is more of a situation where it's built towards Jordan Love's strengths, obviously. That's what the team is. But in doing that, you set up a really good situation for Malik Willis. So, Malik Willis, shout out to you. Playing great football the last few weeks. 4 confidence points on you guys beating the Vikings. Pittsburgh versus Indianapolis. Pittsburgh, surprisingly, is undefeated. Justin Fields and company have got the job done. Simple enough. They've got the job done. The Colts, they beat the Bears, but they do not look good. I'm telling you that as a Bears fan. That game was miserable to watch on both sides of the ball. Jonathan Taylor ended up putting it away late. But that game, man, the quarterback playing it was not great. Anthony Richardson did not look great. Missed some passes that were pretty crucial. Caleb Williams, obviously, we just talked about. There's some turnover issues. The Colts just don't look that good. They don't look that good. Steelers, they win this game. I got 2 confidence points on them. The reason I only got 2 is because I don't really know how much the Steelers' situation is. The Steelers just haven't really played anybody. And the Colts are one of those teams that I feel like are kind of hard to read, that because Anthony Richardson could go out there and play like he played last week, or Anthony Richardson could go out there and play like a superstar. And Anthony Richardson's just one of those guys that you don't know what to expect each week. So I'm gonna tend to ride with the Steelers though. I know what the Steelers bring. I don't know what the Colts bring. Broncos versus Jets. The Jets last week looked dangerous. If you're a Giants fan, or if you're not a fan of Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. He tormented my Bears for the last however many years, right? You got to be afraid because Aaron Rodgers and the Jets look good. Breece Hall looks good. Braylon Allen being added into the mix looks good. Lazard, believe it or not, seems to be turning back the clock a little bit and going back to his Green Bay days. Mike Williams hasn't really been super involved, but when he does, expect that Chargers player. Garrett Wilson looks to be a receiver one. This team, when it comes to the Jets, they look the part. Now the Broncos, coming off a win, an impressive little win, but I got 15 points on the Jets. Aaron Rodgers going to get the job done. Aaron Rodgers seemingly starting to hit his stride. If that is the case, NFL, watch out. We don't want to see that. Philadelphia against Tampa Bay. I got 9 points on the Eagles getting the job done. Eagles did get off a victory last week somehow. Saquon Barkley is the best player on your team. Jalen Hurts, stop running the ball yourself. Stop it. Saquon Barkley is your best offensive player. It ain't you, buddy. It ain't you. Give it to Saquon. Saquon will take you to the promised land. And you need to throw it. When you need to throw it, you got some banged up receivers. Guess what? You got a 6'7" rookie receiver in Johnny Wilson. Might want to use him a little bit. Bengals versus Well, I guess we didn't talk about the Buccaneers. Buccaneers lost last week. Buccaneers, what are we doing? Baker Mayfield, I expect a bounce back week. I expect this to be a good game, but 9 points on the Eagles sounds about right. Bengals versus Panthers. Bengals 0-3. 0-3 Bengals. Come on, Bengals. You're better than that. Joey Burrow. Let's do something, man. Let's do something this week. Against the Panthers. The Panthers obviously coming off a big week. Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, got the job done. I don't care what the Red Rocket did last week. It ain't happening again. He struck lightning in a bottle. The Bengals, you need a big victory. The Panthers are the perfect team for it. You win this game. You win it big. Go out there and dominate, Bengals. You got all the talent in the world, and this is what you're doing this season. Starting off 0-3 Bengals. It's terrible. Jamar Chase, you had a really good game on Monday, or whatever day the Commanders game was. You had a really good game. So I can't really say you don't deserve the money. But you're in talks of extending a receiver for a huge deal, and you're 0-3 to start the season. You are playing with a receiver on a franchise tag that wants a huge deal. So you have all this talent at the receiving room. You have all this talent on your offense, and you're 0-3. That's kind of where I'm getting at. Is how are you 0-3? How are you 0-3? 14 points towards the Bengals, though. Jacksonville versus Houston. Jacksonville. I cannot believe I had to watch a Jacksonville game against the Bills, man. It was terrible. If you're watching this, that means you came out on the other side of that game too. It was miserable. It was disappointing. It was a joke. It was on prime time, and I absolutely gave up on it by the second quarter. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. The Jaguars, they look awful. There's no cut. There's no cutting in any good way. They look terrible. The Texans lost last week, surprisingly, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think they come in, they dominate. The Jaguars haven't looked good. It's another bounce back type of game. 13 confidence points on the Texans getting the job done. Now, this is where we get a little bit of some questionable decisions by me. I got 1 confidence point on the Commanders beating the Cardinals. You didn't hear me wrong. Jaden Daniels looked good last week. I think he continues that into this week and shows you that he can be a quarterback that can compete with the Kyler Murrays of the world. This is a battle between him and Marvin Harrison, potentially the two front runners for Offensive Rookie of the Year if things don't get sorted out in Chicago quickly. So I'm going to ride with the Commanders to get the job done. Patriots versus the 49ers. Patriots last week were bad. They did not look good. The Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson didn't get going. I think that's all going to fail or go back to what it was the first couple of weeks. This week, I think the running game's going to be fine. I think the Patriots bounce back, but I do have the 49ers winning. 6 confidence points on them winning. Juwan Jennings, shout out to you. Big week. Help me win one of my fantasy leagues. 40-plus fantasy points. Shout out to you. Browns versus Raiders. This ain't a game I want to watch. It's a 3:25 game. I haven't seen. I assume the games are in my area are probably going to be the Chiefs and the Chargers, I would imagine, because the Chiefs seem to always be on, and I always have to watch them. And I always watch them barely win. I guess you win. But Browns Raiders, not a game I'm looking forward to. I got 7 confidence points on the Raiders. Don't really care who wins the game. Don't want to watch it. Hopefully it's not the game that I have to watch. Browns Raiders, not a fan. Not a fan of that game whatsoever. Just bad football there. Chiefs versus Chargers. Chargers, they're going to be in a rough situation here. Justin Herbert a little banged up. Came out of last week's game. Chiefs are the Chiefs. We don't really need to talk about them. I got 12 confidence points on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win the game, sadly. They're going to win the game, sadly. I wish I could stop them, but they can't. The Chiefs are going to win. Bills Ravens. Now this is going to be a fun one. This is Sunday night football. This is a game that when they say waiting all day for Sunday night, yeah, I've been waiting all day for Sunday night for this one. Bills Ravens. Now this is going to be fun. The Bills offense looks to be clicking on all cylinders. The Ravens have seemingly figured out that Derrick Henry is the answer. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun one. I got the Bills. I got 8 confidence points on the Bills. But this is going to be a fun game. This is going to be a real fun game. So tune in on Sunday night. And then we get to the Monday night games. Tennessee versus Miami. Like I said, prime time, and we're doing that. Prime time. And I get that the Dolphins no longer have Tua as their starting QB for the foreseeable future. Maybe this is a Tyler Huntley show. I don't know. But the Titans, Will Levis and the Titans. Now, the only thing good about this is now we get a Week 4 meme picture on the prime time scale. There's always a week 1. There was a Week 1 meme of Will Levis, a Week 2 meme, a Week 3 meme of Will Levis. What's the Week 4 meme of Will Levis? And like I said, way back when you beat the Bears, buddy. Oh, they didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. Guess you've been beating yourself the last 3 weeks, Will Levis. Guess you've been beating yourself the last 3 weeks. You're the meme of the NFL right now. You're the meme of the NFL. So instead of discrediting other people's victories, why don't you worry about bettering your quarterback play? Because if you don't start doing that, guess what? Your team, they're going to be looking for another quarterback, and you're going to be the next Malik Willis. Except Malik Willis actually has some success elsewhere, where you're probably just going to go sit and be a backup for the Jaguars or somebody. Don't discredit other people's victories, Will Levis. Sure, you can take some blame for why you lost, but guess what? Who made the play? The defense on the other team. The defense won the game. I don't care about, we beat ourselves. Somebody beat you. You ain't playing yourself in practice. It wasn't a practice that you lost. You lost the game. You lost the game because the other team is better. So, I got you guys winning. I got 10 confidence points on it because if Skylar Thompson plays this game, it's terrible. If they tell me Tyler Huntley's starting this game, I'm completely switching to the Dolphins, by the way. But I'm going under the assumption that Skylar Thompson's a QB, and he's absolutely terrible. Titans are going to win this game as long as Skylar Thompson is the guy. If it does become Huntley, I am switching it to the Dolphins. Seahawks versus Lions. Now this is a Monday night primetime game. This is a Monday night game right here. Lions Seahawks. Lions, Seahawks. Now, I got the Lions winning with 11 confidence points because I just believe in them that much. But the Seahawks aren't a bad team. You get to see DK. K9's probably back. Kenneth Walker. Geno Smith on prime time. I get to see my boy Dev Witherspoon on prime time. The defense on prime time. The Lions, obviously, we know what they are. Amon-Ra. They got Jahmyr Gibbs. They got David Montgomery. They got Jared Goff. They got all the talent. They were a team that everybody loved last year. They're a team that everybody's going to love this year. The Lions, we know what they are. The Seahawks, we know what they are. And those are two really good football teams. And it's going to make for a good game on Monday night. But I am going to be riding with the Lions with 11 confidence points. But with that being said, that is all I have for you this week on these videos. If you haven't already, make sure you check out yesterday's video for college football. And if you don't do that, then I guess you're not a college football fan. I don't know. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.